Don't understand. Is it the number of population that determines the seriousness, or is it the level of development? Because we hardly hear of cases, say, in Sumatra.
We do.
You do have.
We do. Most probably because Papua has always been such a focus of attention of the international world, indeed. But actually, North Sumatra is very serious. Capri and Riau are very serious. Also, Java, basically all of Java and Bali, and then South Sulawesi. We started by saying we have 6 priority provinces because it's so serious. But then actually we had to increase to 19, and as of 2008, I had to focus my attention basically to all provinces, which is 33 provinces, because you see, we don't want to wait until it's very serious. We want to prevent as much as possible now, not 5 years from now. What we're looking at are people most at risk. We have done the estimation, we have done the mapping, and we know that, for instance, the highest prevalence is among injecting drug users, which is in some areas over 50%. In West Java, for instance, 70% of new cases are among injecting drug users. So that's how we target our prevention programs, to where the most at-risk people are: the injecting drug users, people engaged in commercial sex, sex workers as well as their clients, and that's a huge number, men who have sex with men, and transgenders. And of course also one of the recent developments is the problem in prisons. Because of the criminalization of injecting drug users, over the last few years, the numbers of injecting drug users have increased. We see a lot of prisoners infected, people living with HIV and injecting drug users in prisons. As I usually talk about the twin epidemics in Indonesia, that's one of the reasons why we take it so seriously, because it's a multiple epidemic actually in Indonesia.
Yet it's a controlled situation. It should be easier to monitor and to manage, isn't it? I mean, a prison situation.
The prison situation, yes, we don't yet have enough resources. The resources for prison programs have increased since 2006, 2007, and we hope to increase it more with the approval of the Global Fund Round 8. We hope that as of this year, we will be able to accelerate the prevention programs as well as care support and treatment in 82 prisons. It's not enough. Indonesia is too big.
Too many people.
Too many people.
One recent study indicated that migrant workers are most vulnerable to HIV/AIDS. Why is that?
I wouldn't say most vulnerable. They are vulnerable, indeed. And if, especially, we call them the 3 M's, mobile men with money, because, indeed, they tend to engage in high-risk sexual behavior.
Oh, we're talking about male workers then.
Male migrant workers. While female migrant workers, most of them go from one area to the others, and because we have domestic migrant workers as well as international, okay? Those that are domestic migrant workers, the women, a large percentage, I think about 10%, are actually migrant workers, and they are trafficked. And we have now studies showing that they are trafficked for sex work, and because there is no protection, they are indeed most vulnerable, very vulnerable to infection through sex work, unprotected sex abroad, as well as here actually. We have, for instance, from East Java going to Batam, and then in Batam or the Rio Islands or Natuna Islands, I just got reports from there that these women have been brought there and trafficked into sex work. It's daunting. It really needs the whole society to be able to manage this. So no, I would not say it's easy to manage. We know what to do, but the challenges are very huge.
Well, let me ask you, as Secretary of the National AIDS Commission, you had the Commission developed a national strategic plan, right, which spans 2007 to 2010. What are the salient points of this strategic plan? How will it affect all this problem?
Yes, indeed. In 2006, the government decided to intensify and accelerate the program, especially prevention and care support and treatment. So there was a new presidential regulation which established the National AIDS Commission in a new way, which is we are now accountable to the president himself. And indeed, to be able to increase or accelerate the program to achieve universal access by 2010, we need to have a strategy, which is, and an action plan actually. We do, besides the national strategy, we also have a national action plan, which has now been adopted by all 33 provinces and about 150 districts, which is prioritizing prevention. By epidemiologically, we know that to be able to change the course of the epidemic, we have to reach at least 80% of all those people most at risk with effective prevention programs, comprehensive programs, and 60% have to change behavior, okay? And we have made the commitment, the Indonesian government has made the commitment that all people living with HIV who fulfill the requirements have access to antiretroviral treatment for free. But besides that, I always say there are three things. We have to have the coverage, which is not easy. We need to have effectiveness of the program, which is also not easy, especially sexual transmission in Indonesia. We have a lot of problems there, but also sustainability of the programs. At the moment, we are still dependent on outside funding. Our latest data showed that about 70% of the funding comes from outside of Indonesia, and that does not do well for sustainability. So my requirements at the moment as the Secretary of the National AIDS Commission is to change the course of the epidemic. We have to have all these three: the coverage, the effectiveness of the programs, or the quality of the programs, and the sustainability.